My great-grandfather, Sam, was born in 1859 in Suwałki, Poland.
My family came to Dallas from Poland. My grandparents, Izzy and Fanny Weil.
My grandmother, Lena Skybel Tobolowsky, was also born in Poland.
It was a different world. It was a harder world to be. It was harder to be different if your name wasn't Smith or Jones or Brown.
My parents both were born in Romania in 1890 and 1893. They were childhood sweethearts and lived in the same general area. My father was poor and lived very simply, but was a great scholar. He talked himself into the University of Munich getting a scholarship. And of course, it cost him a lot because they referred him always to the Jew tutor. My mother, on the other hand, their family had a ranch and she worked in the ranch store.
My great-grandfather, Sam, was a peddler. He had a horse and wagon.
Traveled throughout the area in Oklahoma and all this area, and they peddled through Texas and peddled their wares. He had come through Galveston.
My grandfather was, I guess, an entrepreneur, you could call him. He owned some movie theaters, miniature golf courses. As time went by, he acquired real estate.
My great-grandpa, Frank Byers, was a rabbi and a shochet.
There were 5 children: Lena, Ray, Ida, Esther, and Max.
My grandfather, Max Rosenthal, stayed here with his family in Dallas, Texas. And he had 4 sons. My dad, Sam Rosenthal, being the youngest.
My father was born, Edwin, was born and raised here in Dallas. His mother, Etta Gertrude, was born and raised here in Dallas. She had a brother who was born, she was the elder as I understand it. She had a brother who was born in Wichita Falls. Now, my grandfather, my father's father, was born in Sweden. And the most interesting piece of it all is that he was a Tobolowsky and she was a Tobolowsky, but they are not anything approaching first cousins.
My grandparents had 10 children. They had 8 sons and 2 daughters. Those kids were all educated. They all went to college. Many of them became doctors and lawyers. Others went into business.
A lot of the early, as I say, first generations were all lawyers or doctors, and then the next generation kind of kicked into lawyers and doctors and businessmen and businesswomen. So I think we had a big impact in Dallas in terms of just the amount of professionals we had here.
My grandpa and Bubby lived on Caroline Street, 2401 Caroline. I remember the living room. I remember that huge wood-burning stove in the kitchen. And I remember that they added on like a screen porch.
My whole life, the whole Rosenthal family has been involved in the meat business, all the generations and all the 13 siblings.
The Tobolowsky family has made a positive impact on the entire community. In the general community, in business, in the fields of law or medicine, or in the arts, or in government service, I feel that members of the Tobolowsky family have distinguished themselves.
I believe the legacy they left us is a love of Judaism, a love of family, and a love of community.
I think they were the Kennedys of Dallas, Texas.
My mother's brother, Joe Goldman, was a great leader in the Jewish community, was president of the JCC, was president of Congregation Shereth Israel, was city councilman, deputy mayor pro tem.
My dad, Dave Tobolowsky, a doctor, family doctor, worked harder than anyone I ever knew and have ever known since.
The Tobolowskys were very influential in Tifereth Israel from the very beginning.
My grandfather and Lena were very religious, Orthodox.
My grandparents were extremely involved in Tifereth Israel. They were like part of the founding fathers, you could say.
My Uncle Max and my Uncle Muddle would attend religious services there daily.
My great uncle, Izzy Weil, I remember the two of them on a high holiday doing one blew the shofar and one did the reading for the shofar, but just very, we were part of Tiferet Israel. It's part of my genes. And I'm currently sisterhood president.
Based upon that involvement of the family, oftentimes we would just call it Tiferet Tobolowsky. On Saturday, my mother would, in the afternoons, go to visit other members of the Tobolowsky family. She would go by and see her Aunt Lena. She would go by and see her Aunt Ray. She would go by and see her Aunt Ida. Those were the Saturday rituals of growing up.
A lot of who I am and what I do and what I became is really as a direct result of them, in addition to our parents.
And Grandma was always in the kitchen manning the pots and pans. And she always had one pot of lima beans going and one pot of chicken soup or something going. The smells you could grab.
They gave back so much to the community, to the Jewish community. It was their legacy.
I'm very active in Hadassah. My grandmother, Celia Byers-Bender, was, as I understand, an original member of the Dallas chapter of Hadassah.
Being involved in the community is something that I hope our grandkids will be aware of. And we can already tell that they appreciate the value of family.
I'm fourth generation, so that makes my grandchildren sixth generation Dallas. Pretty remarkable in this day.
It's made me very, very happy and very, very satisfied to be able to help others and do things for others.
We grew up with strong family values, and we know that many people are not as fortunate as we are, and so we take it upon ourselves to try to help those that are less fortunate.
If I live my life well, it will have a positive impact on other people and have some impact on social justice.
Those of us who have been blessed with a good education, good upbringing, and the opportunity to share in the American dream, it's up to us to make sure that others have that opportunity as well. That's the future of our society depends on it.
It's such a special joy to be able to be connected to so many people and to know, oh, they're kin, and then to meet somebody you hadn't met before and to find out they're actually a kin or they're a cousin of yours. It's always a nice surprise. People
were amazed because I'll go somewhere and I'll say, oh, that's my cousin, or that's my uncle, or that's my aunt, and I wouldn't know any different.
Everywhere you go in the Jewish community, somebody knows a Tobolowsky, says they're related to a Tobolowsky.
I am very lucky to be part of a big extended family. If you ever need anything, your family is there for you. In good times and in bad times, they're there. And you can't put a price on that.
It was really always about the people and how each could help the next in whatever way was necessary.
It's a sense of pride of the family name and what those in the family have accomplished and the values that have passed down from generation to generation.
As we look at the different cousins and all of our kids, we've all raised just really fine young people.
Hello, I am Hal and I'm a proud member of the Tobolowsky family.
We're the Tobolowskys.
Hi, I'm Susan from Eretz Yisrael, and I am also a Tobolowsky.
Hi, I'm Jennifer, and I'm a proud descendant of the Tobolowsky family.
My name's Robert Toby, and I am a proud member of the Tobolowsky family.
Hi, I'm Farrell, and I'm proud to be a Tobolowsky.
Hi, I'm Stacy, and I'm proud to be a Tobolowsky.
I'm Cheryl Berman, and I'm proud to be a Tobolowsky.
Hi, Tobolowskys. It's Lisa Loeb here from California. Cousin Lisa, which of course you know because you're there celebrating the family. I wish I could be there with you at this special event, and I want to say a special hello to Mom and Dad. See y'all soon.